Jai Gurudev, all of you. Firstly, I want to say thank you for all of you to come here in this place, because I know it's not easy to travel, especially from Russia, but nevertheless, you all came. I was talking with Swami Sharda, and they were saying that there is a different, Sangha group. It's amazing to see how Bhakti Marga have grown. I remember the first time when I came to Russia. It's always like that. You see, not only Russia, also in Portugal, in other places, also whenever I travel around, it's amazing. I remember when I went to Portugal, first darshan, how many people do you think were there? Eh? 25. It's true. Then it increased to 200, 250, and it keep increasing. Now it's like 6,000, 7,000 people. And I remember in Russia also for the same. Yeah? And now I see it's like a new beginning here also in Astrakhan. Sorry, what is it called? Yes. No, Azerbaijan. But it's so lovely to see the interest of spirituality. How people have that longing. Doesn't matter where they are in the world. There is this longing from deep within. It's not just, okay, I want to learn something, I get a book and I learn about it, and that's it, it's finished. This is easy. Because this is an outward journey. An outward journey is very easy. The same way you tell to somebody, okay, become spiritual. If it's just the outside, okay, I will change the outside. I change my clothes, I change my way of eating, But it's not just the outside. It is something which is deep inside. For 18 years I've been going to Russia now, and I see devotees, like Swami Indushekara was just saying, for 18 years, I've seen devotee, still they're very dedicated. And it is an inspiration for others. I don't say that it is an easy journey. The spiritual path is not an easy journey. Easy journey is outside. For the world, outside is an easy journey. Because people don't want to change anything, people don't want to do anything. That is easy. But if you have to change, the biggest change is to change yourself. It is an easy journey, is that, to change oneself? It's not an easy. We can change the clothes, like I said. We can put a tilak on our forehead. We can be fancy on the outside. But to really take that spiritual journey, it is an inner journey. It's a journey of rediscovering yourself. Not the self that you know about, because when you're in the world outside, there's a different self that you know about. This which you know very well, no? But when you journey inwardly, this is where spirituality awake. Spirituality is not on the outside. It's all happening on the inside. Firstly, we start here with the mind, which is the most difficult of all. Even Arjun said to Bhagavan Krishna in the Gita, it's very difficult. And Bhagavan said, yes, it is difficult. But this is not impossible. If we analyze ourselves, we see that we have been trained since childhood to think in certain way. To think. If you are different, your parents is able to know you are not allowed to be different. You have to be according to the system. You have to be according to how everybody have put a certain set rules in it. Are you free into that set rule? No, you're not free into that set rule because you're just doing what 8 billion people are doing. Thinking that 8 billion people is right because they are all doing the same thing. So when you become spiritual, something change. Which means you start to look at yourself. You start to look at your feeling. You start to look, yes, why am I not fully satisfied with life? I do everything, I have everything, but yet that true happiness, why am I living, Life must have a purpose. Life can't just be random like that, no? To do everything that everybody else is doing. If we analyze properly, look at the world, it's amazing. How many people have attained, for example, self-realization? Let's talk about self-realization. I'm not talking about God realization. Talk about self-realization itself. How many people have done? 8 billion people have attained that? But you all are following the same thing, what everybody is doing. When your friends come to you, you are doing the same thing what your friend is doing. What is the difference? The whole world is doing the same thing. What will be the difference between you and them if you are doing the same thing as everybody? No different. So when spirituality awakes inside of you, a certain transformation also happens. Who you keep company is also very important, The Sangha is very important. Because in Sangha, you are nourished. In Sangha, you become strong. You're not just by yourself. You're not just alone doing something. But know that it is a strength of each another. Where you help each another, you're there for each another, supporting each another. Because everybody have up and everybody have down. This is normal. This is life. In your life, you will have a point where there will be doubt inside of your life also. Yes, am I on the right path or not? But then you have to look around you. Be inspired by others also. They have their experience. You will have your own experience for that inner journey. That journey of life, that journey of love. Like I was saying, when we look in the world, very few attain to self-realization. Bhagavan Krishna himself said it in the Gita, no? Out of million, only few will know me. And out of those who know me, only a handful know me for real. Here it's very important to understand. Yes, there is a God up there. We all love him. We all long for him. How many knows that he does exist? Yes, it's a belief that yes, there is a God. How many knows? How many can say, yes, I guarantee he exists? Hmm? How many can say that? Not so many can say it. But those who have experienced him, they for sure can say, yes. When I was down, there was somebody next to me. You know, when there was nobody with me, there was someone there. He may be in different ways, different forms he come, but there was always a help there. Do you think it just happened randomly like that? These are called golden moments, in your life. If you can perceive that in your daily life, there is a moment where God reveals himself. But yes, you may not believe in me, you may not know me, but I know you. This is the belief. But yes, I know him, whether he exists or he don't exist. But there is a moment in my life when I was in trouble, when nobody was there was someone. There was help. There was somebody to listen. And that is the grace of God in your life. That's why those handful who have experienced Bhagwan, they have experienced God, they have experienced the grace of God, for them, there is no doubt. And we are inspired by their experience. We may not know about it, but those who have experienced it, they know about it. I remember once somebody asked me, "Oh, Guruji, how do you know that there is a God?" I said, well, you see, since small, I live with him. I breathe him. Without him, there will be no life. And I have experience, a lot of experience in my life. I don't need to talk about it here. Then there was a person next to me, one devotee from Slovenia. I said, you see this person here? Ask him if God exists or not. Me, I know. There's no doubt about it. Ask him. So he asks the person, for sure you all have listened to his experience. That man died. He had a heart attack, he died. And the experience that he experienced on the other side, it was such a wonderful experience. When he came back, he was not so happy. But his dharma called him back here. You see, like that, we all have our own unique experience of the divine in our life. If we become aware of that moment when God revealed himself in our life, we will see that daily he reveals himself to us. But we take it for granted. This is our nature as a human being. We like to take things for granted. We forget very quickly. When good things happen in your life, you forget it very quickly. But when bad things happen into your life, you treasure it like a very wonderful treasure. You built a nice safe inside of your mind and you lock it there. And that is the ungratefulness. So, there was once a journalist, in Pandharpur. Most of you know the Lord Vithala, which is Bhagwan Krishna, and his wonderful wife Rukmini. Every year, millions of people walk from all Maharashtra to Pandharpur. They all walk for 1 month, they will be walking. And while they walk, they will not be chit-chatting or sitting on their phone. No, they will sing the name of Vitthal. So one journalist asked one man, tell me, how old are you? The man said, I'm 85 years old. I said, how long have you been coming as Vari to Pandharpur? I said, 80 years. So since I was 5 years old, my parents used to bring me. I used to come with my grandfather and everybody. So the journalist was very perplexed and asked, for 80 years, every year you come? I said, yes. But with such an enthusiasm, such joy and happiness inside of him. So then the journalist asked, have you ever had darshan of Lord Vitthala? Have you ever seen Vitthala? We said, no. I have never seen him. But seeing that person have such joy inside of him, I said, but how come? What inspired you? You have never seen Lord Vitthala. You have never had darshan of Lord Vitthala. But there must be something else that is inspired you to come. He said, yes. The experience of the saints. That's what inspired me. It's not Vitthala himself, but the experience the saint have experienced. For them, they live with Bhagwan. Each moment of the life, God was present into their life. They were not a God which is far away, but once you die here, then you want to reach them. No, it is not that kind of God. It's a God which in your daily life, they meet with Him. They converse with Him. Each breath, it is Him. So he said, look, the old man said to the journalist, it's like this. You people in the city, you have dogs, no? And if a thief is entering one place, how many dogs bark? Huh? No, there's surrounding, there's a lot of dogs around. There's only one dog who have seen the thieves. But there are many dogs who start barking. You start to think about right now, eh? You just take one. But they all believe that one dog. They don't, like human being, have doubt, whether it is real or not. And they will ask question, oh yes, now should I bark or not? We human being ask this kind of question, We shall believe or not? Then we start asking question, our mind become crazy and all these things. But no, if animal can have faith like that, what about people? That is why the inspiration, I said, the saint, they have lived with Lord Vitthala. They have enjoyed his company. Sandhyaneshwar, Bhagwan was sitting and eating with him. Sant Tukaram, his life was full of wonders. And those are all experience. It was not that, yes, everybody have to experience. No. If one hold the light, everybody will profit from that. In the East, we have a belief. If one person let go of this world and say, yes, I'm renouncing the world, I'm going to live only for God. You know what the whole surrounding do? What do? They support that person. They look after that person. They know where if one person attain to that enlightenment, that one person can enlighten everybody. It's just like a lamp. The light, the light of a lamp don't light for himself. It light for everybody. So that is our journey to get to know him. Not just say, yes, we believe in him. That is one thing. Oh, we do our practices only when we have time. No. We have to know that each moment of our life is a grace of God. Each moment that we are living, it is his grace that we are living. And it is not out there. He is inside. And he wants to make you realize your full potential of what you hold inside of you. And it's not just to say, your spiritual journey, where it have started and where it will end. You have to find him in each moment of your life. That's why when we talk about love, prem, I'm not talking about the love that we have for people, then after that our heart is broken. No, I'm talking about the love that you hold inside of you. Each person hold deep inside of themselves. Prem. That word prem goes beyond all limit. When we talk about prem, who come into our mind? Nap. Krishna. Krishna is prem. And prem is Krishna himself. But when you look at the life of Bhagavan Krishna, was Krishna limited to something? Krishna was not limited to anything. Was he limited to any rules? Ram was. Ram was limited to rules. Because Ram is Kshama Murti, which means he's the image of forgiveness. And he's representing that aspect, of duality. But when it comes to Bhagavan Krishna, we say he's Bhagavan, he's full in himself. Is there any rules to him? No, there is no rules to him at all. He create his rules and he break it. And he give you a philosophical answer for it also, why he break it. On the battlefield, he remind that to Bhishma. No? It's to Bhishma. And look at you. You are bound by your rules that you have put upon. But your rules was at that moment when you took the vow. No? You have promised that you will be brahmachari. Yes, it was that moment. You have promised that you will protect the seed. It was that moment. Krishna also said, no, I will not lift any weapon. And Bhishma said, I will see for that. And to make that happen, Bhagavan Krishna lift the wheel to attack him. Just to prove his devotee's word to be true. And this is how Bhagavan's mercy is. How is the nature of love itself. The nature of love lies beyond everything. And in everything we can perceive that nature of true love. When we look around, I'm not saying with the mind, but with that deepness of that love, because only love recognizes love. And when there is true love inside of you, like I said, there is no limit. There is no rules to it. It's like a flower. Take a rose. Isn't it beautiful? Do you think the rose bothered, or the rose will stop giving his smell if it is put wherever? The rose is beautiful by itself. It doesn't matter where the rose is being put. You can take the rose and put it on a corpse. It will still give the same fragrance. You take the rose and put it on the deity in the temple. Wherever you put it, wherever you put it, there's no limit to the rose. The rose will still be beautiful and it will still give its fragrance. And this is the nature when you become a bhakta. When you become a devotee, wherever you are, your nature of devotion, the nature of love inside of you should not change. It should not change with situation. It should not change. Oh yes, I like this one. No, the nature of bhakta. When you say yes, I am a devotee of God. I am a devotee of Krishna. I am a devotee of whoever. That means there is love inside of you. Your nature itself should be like this flower. But doesn't matter where you are, what you are doing. You have to radiate that love. You have to radiate that purity, that fragrance of devotion inside of you. So wherever you are, become that flower where the love of God will flow through you. Become that flower which will inspire others also to transform their life. Become an inspiration to others. I'm not saying that you have to go and convert people. No, it's not about that. Just by being yourself, that fragrance and that love and that devotion will transform. And this is the beauty that I've seen now in the devotee. There is beauty in everyone, but what the devotee hold inside of them, what spiritual people hold inside of them, it crosses over all the limit. When we look at the life of the saints, they live a normal life like everybody, but they choose to perceive the divine. They choose to see God beyond everything. And if strongly you have that into your mind, then God become each moment of your life. Each breath that you take is a reminder of Him. Each action that you do, knowing that you're doing it for Him. There is no judgment that this have to be like this, or this have to be like that. This is our human mind, that we think, yes, it have to be this way, then God is pleased. He wants you to be full in yourself. He have not sent you here just to enslave yourself and become miserable. But we enslave ourselves, we make ourselves miserable. When would we be truly happy? When would we be truly free? So you have taken the path of bhakti. You have taken the path of surrender, a path of service, a path of love. Let that shine through you. Now, somebody asked me, Guruji, when would you rest? Yesterday, they asked me, when would you rest? I said, no, that is only when when can we rest? Only when life is finished, then we can rest. No? Otherwise, you become lazy. So keep yourself always busy. Engage yourself always in doing service. Engage yourself in always chanting the divine name. Always remind yourself of Him. Make your life full. Make your life a life of freedom, not slavery. You have enslaved yourself continuously. The mind have enslaved itself. But Bhagavan said, no, you have to be free. I have created you free. I didn't put any shackle or chain around you. That chain that you have put around you, it's from your mind. You have put yourself. You have chained yourself. But yes, I have to be like this, or I have to be like that. I have to have this, I have to have that to be happy. No. But I have created you happy. I have created you full of love. When would you be that? So that is bhakti. You know. That is devotion. That is love in your life. So I can't meet each group. I have seen you all already. There's some question from different sanghas. When the team have already done all necessary work and invested a lot of effort, at the last moment the darshan was moved to Baku. How do we realize this experience? What conclusion should we, as a sangha, drawn? Short answer. Look, it's lovely to see that all of you, knowing that I will be coming to Moscow, all of you come together and had this, enjoyment and that excitement, you know. But that excitement should be every moment of your life. You know, whenever, not only when I'm coming, just as a show, to show me that, yes, look, we are all very nice, united and everything, then they all come together. No, it have to be the same. Every time you meet, they must have the same enthusiasm. Imagine one day I just come privately. And then what? So you have to be ready, Nana, always. And why it didn't happen? That I will let Mishi explain that, because also Swami Sharada, they are the expert into that. You know, some countries easy to have big darshan and some countries not that easy. And in your country, it's not that easy, actually. Because to bring the attention of the authority, if we were, you see, the problem is Bhakti Marga is not, sorry? Yes, it's not an official religion in Russia. So if we will do a big gathering like that, the authority will get scared. So that's why. So let's move on. But it's nice in Azerbaijan to do it. Yeah? So beautiful. All the other countries can come also. And it's such a wonderful place. Like yesterday I was saying, it's a place where the Silk Road was passing by. No? And when we went to the fire temple, it's a place where all the other, the Hindu was worshipping, the Zoroastrian was worshipping, and others were worshipping also there, So it's a place where everybody came together. And it's so beautiful. I didn't have chance to go outside of the city, but I'm sure it's a wonderful country, So let's move on. St. Petersburg. What happened to a devotee if he or she doesn't fulfill the Guru's Adesh? Does the opposite? What happened to the Adesh in such a case? Does it have an expiry date? What do we do in such case to fix it? Yes, it have an expiry date. During Guru Gita, I was talking about that. Who was in Guru Gita? Online, offline, doesn't matter. Good. So what did I say about that? Please keep your hand up so that I can... The hand was very high up. When I said keep it up, it became... It is still up. Look, I have said, the Satguru always give the Adesh, what is right for the person. But the Sadguru can't force anybody to follow it or not. That is up to the person. If you follow it, it's good. If you don't follow it, what can we do? The Sadguru will not come and say, you have to, otherwise you're going to hell. No, you will see your hell yourself, by yourself, So, you see, an example. 3 years ago, I told one, not devotee, one person in Mauritius, when he came for darshan, I grabbed him and I said to him, listen, change your life. Change the way you eat. Start putting certain practice into your life. Do some yoga, do some meditation. That will help you. Didn't change. First year, I remind him. Second year, I remind him. Even this year, in January, with his future wife, during darshan, 13th of January, I remember, I told him, you still have not changed your life. You have not changed your habit. You still like to eat everything. You still like to drink everything. Change your life. It's still time for you. No. Nothing. 10 days ago, the wife called, sent me a message, Guruji, husband is Boloram. The husband have joined this creator. And I said, remind her, is it my fault? He have gone home. Bye-bye. I tried to save him. I tried to help him. But if he have not done his part, what can I do? Can I do something? No, I can't do anything. You see, how the Sadguru work is completely different from how human being. If I would have told him, listen, if you don't change your life, you will die. Maybe he would have died right now in front of me. Look, everybody have to die. This is one thing which is true. When time comes, this is one reality which we can't escape. The moment you learn that, yes, death is imminent and we are all going to die. What happened? Tell me. Well, of course, you don't remember. If you have died many times, you will not remember now. But there is one fact that happened. The moment you learn to accept that any moment you will die, what will happen? Just say, you know that later on you will die. In the morning you wake up, yes, I know I will die tonight. How will be your day? Do you think your day will have enmity? Do you think your day will have problem? Do you think your day will have worry? No. The moment you know that you will die, fear will disappear inside of you. There's nothing. You know the time I'm going to die. What the use of having fear? But when you don't know about it, then you are in uncertainty. But the Satguru is there just to help you, to make you more confident, to make you more strong inside of yourself. Sometimes the Adesh will be given directly. Do this and that will help you. But sometimes, no, you have to do the effort. Does the Sadguru have said yes to change certain things inside of you? It's up to you whether you want to follow it or not. Whether there's an expiry date on it or not, that is up to you. I'm not here to come behind everybody, said, like the little devil poked you behind and said, hey, you have to do this, you have to do that. No, I've given you. It's up to you whether you want to practice it or not. You want to listen or not, that is entirely up to you. And you have seen that countless of times, like I have said it in the Guru Gita. If you can listen, then you ask me. If you can't listen, don't waste my time. You will waste two-person time, your time and my time. And time is very precious. More precious than anything else is time. Because once time is gone, it don't come back. Once that opportunity is gone, you don't know when that opportunity will come back again. So if you know how to listen to the Adesh, what the Sadguru have given to you, you can listen to it and try to practice it. Try to do it. I'm not saying that you have to do it. No, try it at least. The moment you say to somebody to do something, I can't do this, is too much for me. Well, whose fault is that? So whatever will be the outcome, you will have to bear it. No? So Adesh is very important. You see, when you receive an Adesh from the Sadguru, it's not just you ask a question and you're receiving an answer. There is so many saints you have seen. For example, in the life of Prashu, you have heard about Shamananda. In the life of Shamananda, when he went to the ashram of his Guru Maharaj, he was 12 years old. Guru Maharaj said, okay, you can enter into the ashram, you can come to the ashram, but don't come to me. I will come to you. You know when did the Guru Maharaj go back to him? 12 years later. That's also because as he was walking, he used to carry water pot, and there were he hurt his head, and there were rotten, and there were maggots in it. So one fell down while he was passing near to the Guru, and the Guru saw that, and he saw lots of maggot inside of his wound. He said, but you hurt yourself. Yes, I said, oh, doesn't matter. Your Adesh is the most important thing. For 12 years you have told me to carry water. It's not about me. It's about what you have said to me. That's it. After 12 years, his Sadguru spoke with him. And then his Sadguru gave him another Adesh. Go to Vrindavan and sweep the floor. Just that. He left, he went to Vrindavan and started sweeping the floor, the pathway to Nidhivan. And as he was sweeping the floor from Nidhivan, he found a gold anklet. Looking at the gold anklet, he said, there were no queen who have come, who have lost his gold anklet here. That gold anklet must be for somebody very special. Srimati Radharani. So he brought that gold anklet. He kept it. And of course, Radharani sent her servant, Lalita Saki, to retrieve that gold anklet. He refused. He said, tell the person herself to come. Of course, they came in disguise. He said, please reveal your form. He said, what form are you talking about? He said, well, I know who you are. And then he saw Srimati Radharani in front of him. So this is through the Adesh of the Guru. The Adesh of the Guru will not be, go to Vrindavan, you will have the darshan of Srimati Radharani. That is the Adesh you want to hear. Guru said, no, you go and serve. Go do this. Sometimes it will be challenging for the mind to understand. Because you see, we are so fashioned within our mind to hear some things in a direct way. Even when you hear it in the direct way, you don't like to hear it. And you will say, why did he say that to me? Why did he tell me to do this? Why did he tell me that? No. That also you can't even hear properly. Even if it is direct, you will not accept it. But those who can truly take the Adesh of the Sadguru, they will grow. So an expiry date or not? No, there is no expiry date. It's funny, Have you ever buy Himalayan salt? The pink salt? Huh? You know how many millions of years this salt have been in the cave? For millions of years. But when they come into a packet, there's always an expiry date. You see how dirty we are. The moment the salt, which have stayed in a cave for millions of years, was not contaminated, and the moment it come into contact with human, it get an expiry date on it. Have you noticed that? So, Orekovo Zuhovo said, what is spirituality? Not practice what we do, not the path we go, but exactly what is spirituality. So from your point of view, what do you think spirituality is? Please. That is too easy. Come on, just say something. Always looking for God. That's not spirituality. Huh? Peace. Yes. Huh? Growth. Expand. The way to oneself. To be grounded. I love that. Huh? Attention of the mind. You see, you all have different ways of spirituality. It is all spirituality because you see, you need to look at your mind. You need to, be at peace. But for me, personally, if I would say spirituality is your attitude of looking at life. Because if you have, like I was saying earlier, if you just change on the outside, but yet you have not changed in the inside, what the use of it? Because very often people only change on the outside and call it spiritual. I'm spirituality, I'm doing spirituality, I'm doing yoga. I'm putting my head, my leg on my head. I'm spiritual. But that's not spirituality. If your mind have not changed, there's no spirituality inside of you. How you perceive life, how you see life, this is what makes you spiritual. It is not through your practice. It is not through because you belong to a certain group or certain religion or certain way, but that makes you spiritual. No, it's not about that. Spirituality is an attitude of how you embrace life, with which attitude you see life itself. Which attitude you see your life, you see the people which is in your life itself. Changing on the outside, are you truly living? No. How many people can say, yes, I am truly living my life freely. I am truly enjoying the grace of God. How many people which is on the spiritual path can say that? Not many people can say that. In the Upanishad, there's a beautiful story of a king, Yayati. Have you heard the story of King Yayati? No? Prabhu? So, Yayati was a very great king. So, you see, at that time, people used to live long life. So, Yayati lived till 100 years. And when he reached 100 years, Yamraj appeared in front of him, said, "Here, my dear, it's time for you to go now." And Yayati looked at Yamraj and said, "My life was so wonderful. And I have enjoyed life in all the ways, but I'm not satisfied. I don't know what is life yet. Can you please give me another 100 years? So the Lord of Death looked at him. He's always portrayed with a mustache. So he rolled his mustache a little bit and said, "You are a very good king, maybe. But you see, to give life, to extend your life, I have to take another life." He said, "Yes, I have 100 children. You can take one of them." I said, "Okay, but go and ask them." So he went to his oldest son, which was 80 years old. Went to his son and said, "Dad, you are 100 years old. It's time for you to go. And you're asking me, this will be premature. I'm just 80 years old. I still have 20 years to live. So let me live." He was disappointed his son refused him because he thought that whatever I will ask for my son, they will just give it to me. The son refused. He was very disappointed, heartbroken. He went to the next one, was 75 probably, same thing and on. They all refused him. And then his youngest son, which was 20 years old, said, "I'll come with you." They were all shocked to look at him. So arrived in front of Yamraj. Yamraj said, "Are you sure? You are such a young person. 20 years old, you still have life in front of you. You want to die for your father." Said, "What the use of me living? If my father have lived 100 years, they have not truly lived life. They don't know even what life is about. My brothers, they're 85. They don't even have not achieved, they don't even live their life fully. They're still longing to have more life, more extension of their life. What the use of that? Oh, please take me now. So like that, Yayati extend his life 10 times. Each time was the same story. Yamraj keep extending his life. For 1,000 years he lived. After 1,000 years, Yamraj came and said, even my boss is getting angry with me now. I have to take you. Whether you have achieved that or not, you have, for 1,000 years, you have not even learned what is life itself. Do you think if I extend it another 1,000 years, you will? This is how we are also, you know. We say, yes, we are spiritual. We change only into the outside spirituality. But outside spirituality is nothing. When we talk about spirituality, we're talking about what is happening inside of the heart. That's why I start my talk, you know. When I see the devotee change, you know, it's not the change of the outside only, it's an inner change. Something deep inside of you who have touched you, what have touched you, have made you grow. That attitude, how you perceive life, you know. When Bhagavan Krishna was talking to Arjun, how Arjun was at the beginning of the big fight of Mahabharata, was sitting and crying completely. But how he was afterwards, it is through knowledge. No? When you know about life, when you have that deep understanding, you have experience about life itself, your attitude of life itself get transformed. You become mature. So that is what spirituality is. You can say, yes, spirituality is love. But love is not just a word. No? Love is beyond. Like I was saying, love transcends all the duality. Love breaks everything which you know about. True love is that state. If you can reach to that state, that is, you're seated in the spiritual field. It's beyond the limit. In the East here, you know, there was a saint, a Muslim saint called Sufi saint, no? Rabia. You heard? Yes. It's so funny. Somebody once took one of her Quran and was looking inside all the words shaitan she have removed. And they asked her, why have you removed that? Said, well, the moment I have felt in love with the Almighty, I could only see Him everywhere. I could see only God in everything. So this is the state of a bhakta, the state where your heart is burning. Beyond all judgment, beyond all criticism. That is spiritual. Nizhny Novgorod. I said small. In the moment when you realize that you are judging someone inside, how to stop it and switch to sincere positive attitude filled with acceptance. Well, this is one thing, according to your question, the moment you perceived. You see, when you perceived that there is judgment inside of your mind, you have the choice to put fuel to that fire or to stop it. So what would you do? Entertain it? It is very juicy to entertain it, no? Because it's like in my country we have biryani. It's a, I don't know whether you have also here pulav, like, but it's different. We said when there is judgment, everybody bring their own spice. Everybody come with their own spice and put it inside. But the mind is like this. No? The moment there is one judgment, you start to entertain that judgment inside of your mind. When you start to entertain the judgment into your mind, ask yourself who is at fault at that moment. The person you're judging or yourself? But so the person you're judging doesn't know anything what is happening inside of your mind. So who is losing his own peace of mind? The person that you're judging or yourself? Yes, you. So start to reflect upon that. Everybody have a positive side and a negative side. You choose to look at the positive or the negative. That is up to you. Kaliningrad, far away. Many scriptures said that the soul suffer here in this body. It is true self. Particle of himself is love, and everything rules by the gunas, mind and feeling. Does the soul suffer? Actually, this is a discussion which me and Swami Revati, just before we came, we were discussing about that. Because in the Siddhanta, normally they were discussing about the soul, whether it suffered or not. Actually, the Atma in itself doesn't suffer. But when the Atma starts identifying itself with the mind, with the feeling, with the senses, with the elements, then suffering starts. So where is the suffering reside? In the core of the Atma or outside? But the Atma identified to that. Now, the same way, when you know you are Atma, no? You are part of God. All the Satgurus, all the Gurus say that. Bhagavan Krishna himself said it in the Gita, I am seated inside of you. You are spark of me, no? We are all sparks of the divinity. But why we don't realize it? You know it. Why you don't realize it? You know God is there inside of your heart. But why they're still suffering? Because you don't identify to that divinity. You are identified to the mind, intellect, and ego. This is the three factor which you identified yourself to. The body, the mind, the intellect, and the ego. And like I was saying, in the ocean of the mind, there's so many waves of desires which make you miserable, make you unhappy. And you identified yourself to that. So as long as you have not learned to calm that mind of desires inside of the mind, you still hold upon that limitation of yourself. So does the Atma suffer? No, the Atma is eternal. Until it finds the feet of the Satguru will relieve. Central Russia. The name to that? In verse 263 of Bhagavad Gita, it is said about loss of discernment. What and how should we discern in order not to lose ourselves? And how do we distinguish inside between the voice of the Guru and the voice of the mind? Until we are saint, nice. need to make decision what to what to be guided by and what to not. Look, I will start by that. The voice of the mind is a, you all know about it. I don't need to talk about. You know about the voice of the mind? Or somebody don't know? All know. Huh? So, and the voice of the Satguru, or the voice of the intuition, the voice of God, this also you know. It is always the first voice which awake inside of you. Let's say you have a certain feeling, you know, you have a certain situation, and deep inside of you, there's a feeling inside. Yes, I have to do that. But rationally, you do opposite. And then you say, I should have listened to my mind. I should have listened to what I was feeling. Have this ever happened to you? It's called the voice of the intuition. Very easy. You know, in each moment of your life is like that. If you learn to really distinguish what is the voice of the intuition, you will notice that it is the first voice that awake. And that first voice that awake, it have a feeling into it. There's have a certain certitude into it, but you will never listen to it. Because it's too easy. If it was difficult, oh wow. But because it is too easy just to listen to that, you doubt it. You always listen to the second voice. And then you suffer afterwards. I should have listened. So coming back to discernment, Bhagavan Krishna said, yes, you see, in your question, you are confusing between judgment and discernment. When Bhagavan Krishna said about discernment, he said, with discernment, there is a certain knowing into it. A certain knowledge is there. Because without knowledge, you will not know. But with knowledge, you know. Yesterday I was talking about the Kohinoor, no? The story of how it was found. Was it yesterday? Yes. So the Kohinoor, the man didn't have any knowledge first. But with knowledge, he knows. So the same thing, Bhagavan Krishna said, but with knowledge, you know. And when you know something, you just know. There is not like, I know but. Very often it's like this in our talk, no? I know it, but it is not like this. But if you know it, there is no but. The moment you know about something, it is clarity. Because you don't know, there is still unclarity inside of you. So discernment is that knowing without but, if, and that. There's no other question to it. Central Russia, South Russia now. What does it mean to get spiritual experience? And in service in the Sangha, a spiritual experience. Service, well, a spiritual experience. Yesterday somebody asked me, you know, the saint and the prophet, they did a lot of miracle. What about you? I said, no, I don't do all these things. Yeah. God do everything, you know. If He want to give experience to somebody, He will give experience to people. For me, I'm just a reminder, nothing else. You know. So, experience, you know, spiritual experiences is in everybody's life. Like I said to you earlier, each moment of your life is a blessing. And if you can't perceive that each moment of your life is the grace of God itself, then what kind of experience do you expect? But God appeared in front of you. Hey, hi, hello. I was talking with one very old devotee. Actually, he grew up when I was when he was he grew up small in Mauritius itself. We were on the phone day before yesterday, and he was asking about somebody which used to come, and they want to go and ask the person experience and all the stuff. And I was wondering, why you have to go and ask the person if the person have left, have not value what they have received in their life itself? That means that they have not experienced anything. Experience, spiritual experience means you have to change yourself. People have experienced so many things. I will tell you, people have even experienced seeing lots of divinity in front of them, but yet they have changed their life, not in a positive way, in an opposite way. That's why yesterday I was making a joke, but it didn't work properly with the translation. Sindhudasi, I sent it to you today. It was funny, no? But yesterday I expected that it will be a joke, but I think you don't understand joke too much, you people. So like that, you see, many people have experienced so many things in their life, but doesn't mean that they change their life. A spiritual experience means to self-transform yourself. Do you have that willingness? Yes, I want to transform my life. I want to change my life. I want to be different from all the other people. When everybody is going right, let me go left. That is spiritual experience. Because everybody which is full will do the same thing. It's like a trend, you know. It's like, how do you call it? A herd mentality. You know what is herd mentality? Like when a sheep jump the fence, sooner or later, all of them will stop jumping. It's like fashion nowadays, no? If I cut my robe now, I don't think anybody else is wearing this kind of clothes. Maybe the brahmacharis and brahmacharis, they will all have, I say, Guruji is wearing it like that. We also will wear it like this. And like the jeans, you know. So that's the herd mentality. When you have a herd mentality, you are easy to be controlled by everything. But when you are different, nobody can control you. No. And that is the experience. And second part of it, and is service and the Sangha is spiritual experience? Yes, service is spiritual experience. You see, for a devotee, whatever the devotee does in their life, it is an experience to bring us closer to God. It is a divine experience to build our relationship to Him, to strengthen our relationship to Him, to make us have more and more love to Him. And service is very important because service is where we purified ourselves. We cleanse ourselves. We forget about our own ego when we serve. Ural, Siberia. Guruji, how do you rest? Do you rest at all? What is rest for you? What kind of rest would you? That's funny. Rest. How do you rest, people? You sleep. It's enough, no? How long do you sleep? 5 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, very good. Healthy person. 11 hours. 2 hours. Who sleep 2 hours? Very good. You're a yogi. So we'll leave the rest for later. It was a joke. You see, they don't get jokes. I know probably the translation doesn't make sense. In English it's funny, but when I was in Czech, we made a joke also similar. I said, we have to check the Czech. But nobody laughed. Kazans, what should be the highest spiritual value of our Sangha? The highest value of your Sangha should be unity and respect to each another. Unity will come when there's respect towards each another. Not when you want to bossy each another. That is not the right attitude. Very often this is a sad reality, People like to play the boss. There must be somebody to instigate others, to help others, somebody which is there as an inspiration. But that person itself should be an inspiration for the other people to change, not to dictate each another. It's very important, in a Sangha, that knows that everybody is equal. Everybody, when we talk about Sangha, what makes a Sangha? One person? One person can't be a Sangha. A Sangha means a group of people. A group of people, when they come together, is a strength. It's not about one bossing each other. Be an inspiration for others, help others, but always be humble. So the highest value that you can be is humility. How to find support in ourselves? You're weak in yourself. How would you find support in that? Find support in the divine name. Find support in your spiritual practices. Find support in the satsang of the Satguru. That way you will find support. Wow, this is a long question. From Dubai. There's only you two here. So we return home after commentary on Guru Gita, very inspired, with determination to change our life and not waste time. We succeed for 2 days. Amazing, you sit for 14 days and you succeed only for 2 days. And then our home place brought all habits. Sitting on the phone for a long time, wanting to watch entertainment movies, eating not quite healthy food. We forbid ourselves from doing this and do not give in the old habit. But at the same time, inside we want it. It looks like we are behaving like hypocrites. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse 6. A feeling of guilt appeared. Please guide us on what to do in that case. What Krishna said. Discipline. Which one word that you don't like to listen? 2 words actually people don't like. Patience and discipline. But this is 2 things which is very important on the Shraddha and Saburi. This is 2 things which is very important on the spiritual path. When you're disciplined, like I said, discipline is not that the Sadguru come and say, poke you behind, oh, you have to be like this. No, it's self-discipline. Because if you don't have self-discipline, how would you look at yourself? Hmm? When you take discipline, let's say Guruji have said we have to be disciplined. Let's try to be disciplined. For 2 days, you will do it. Because it is not self put towards yourself. But when we talk about self-discipline, it is a certain discipline, but to say you put willingly towards yourself. That yes, I want to change. And you will try. For sure you will fall, yes. But keep trying. If it is 2 days you manage, it's very good. Third day you will not manage. On the fourth day, you start again to be disciplined. Try to make it 3 days. So little by little, you will be able to discipline yourself. And this phone is very dangerous. Swami Niruddha just made a 3 days retreat in the mountain. There were no phone, nothing. Maybe you should do such retreat. You have wonderful mountain everywhere, in the desert. But don't bring your phone with you. The second question I'll ask you afterwards. Turkey. You said in one of your tweets last year, wow, tweet every day last year, but I remember, that nothing is a test and all is simply the love of the Sadguru. Yet we still keep seeing many life event as your test. Because you don't want to learn. You see, it's easy to say, Guruji is doing it. Oh, it's just a test. Because we don't want to learn something from it, you know. And we so often fail and we feel that we failed you again. Can you please comment on that? No, you don't fail me, you failed yourself. Like I said, the love of the Sadguru is there to give. But it's up to each one how they receive it. And of course, whatever the Sadguru said, I don't think that everything you will be able to follow. Take few things which is easy for you and follow it. That's similar to the previous question now. Because if we don't try, how we will know? If the beginning itself say, no, it's very difficult, I can't do it. Will we grow? We will know? No, we will not. Only by trying, then we will know truly. Trying doesn't mean that we will succeed. You keep trying until you become successful. You see, the scientists, when they have to do their experiment, you know how many times they fail? Do you know how many times, what his name now? Now. Huh? What? Not Einstein. What is it called? What are the scientists? Edison Thomas, yes. How many times he failed to make the bulb? Some say 9,000 times, sometimes 3,000 times. When they ask him, are you sad that you failed so many times? He said, no, I'm not sad. I have gained experience. So fail doesn't mean that you become unsuccessful. No, you have been your experience. There were once a very renowned businessman from India, and he been recruiting people. You know which kind of people he will recruit? Who have not been successful in anything what they have done. So they asked him, why do you recruit this kind of people? He said, well, they are well experienced of not failing. Because they have failed in many ways already, but they know how to go out of it. Clever. But this is also in the spiritual path. Don't think that because you are on the spiritual path, everything will be giving to you on a golden platter. But they will, but you don't even know how to handle that. What would you do with it? You will not know how to handle these things. In place of growing, you will make yourself even worse. So try to practice what you can. In one of the recent prayer for the world short video, it starts with a sentence like, thank you for allowing us to have the opportunity to pray for everybody, which I have never thought of. I had never thought of it as God's grace, but I can pray for a human being. How can this state of gratitude that you are talking about, that this is a grace, how can it be realized? Well, prayer is one thing which is the most wonderful. Especially when we can pray not for ourselves, but for others. Because very often when we pray, how does people pray? People don't really pray, they become beggars. If they are not beggars, they are businessmen. That's two things that they do with God, you know. They either do business with God or they're beggars. They forget that they have a certain right. We are his heir, no? We belong to him. How do we pray? We pray with so much uncertainty. Does your prayer really have that power inside when you pray? Or you pray, maybe this happened or maybe it doesn't happen. If it happens, it's good. If it doesn't happen, it's also good. But it's good to pray. There's always uncertainty. There is no this deep faith in your prayer. And then you call it prayer. Prayer is something which beam out of you. You know? Prayer doesn't mean when you are on your knees only, then you can pray. No. Prayer is each moment of your life when you know that God is with you. Everywhere you can talk to him. That is also prayer. Anywhere you can call for him. Like Draupadi called for Bhagwan Krishna in the assembly. Do you think there was a deity of Bhagwan Krishna that he called? Huh? No. Because Bhagwan is inside of her heart. She called for Govinda. So prayer is each moment of your life is a prayer. Whatever you do, if you do it with love, is worship. And offer it to the divine. Offer it to God. That is also prayer. Your day. How is your day? At night before going to bed, say, Bhagwan, thank you for this day. It doesn't matter how it was. Krishna Arpanamastu. I offer everything to you. And in the morning, when you wake up. Be grateful that you have wake up. But that you have been given another wonderful day to live. Be grateful that nothing have happened during your sleep. Because when you go to sleep that the hope I will wake up. You don't know whether you will wake up in the morning. Or do you know that you will wake up? Huh? Do you have this certitude that you will wake up the next morning? No, you don't. There's nothing in this world that you have certitude that next will be how you want. No. Sindhudas say, your good experience with your dad, no? Her father, one moment was alive, the next moment was gone. So you have to be grateful each moment of your life. And that is a prayer. Prayer is not only say, yes, okay, God, once a month I will pray for the world. No, that is just an inspiration for you all to do, you know. But you have to pray. You are part of this world, you are part of your Sangha, you're part of it. Keep praying for everybody. Not only when people need help, pray for everyone. When you feel, let the blessing of God. Actually, prayer is a positive thoughts, you know, and an affirmation, a positive affirmation, which from your side you're sending to the world. You're sending your positiveness. You're sending to the world. Otherwise, how is the world itself? No? The mind is so much deluded with negativity. Everybody is just projecting this negativity. Do you think that world will change? No, it will not. But if you have a positive mind, even a little, it make a big difference. No. I always give that example. A room in a cave, you know, a cave have been closed for thousands of years. There have never been any light inside. And somebody discovered the cave and they took a light. No? Can the shadow who have been closed for thousands of years overshadow that light? It can't. The light will always light. It may be the depth of that darkness, yes. It will not enlighten the whole cave, but where you are, that light will be there. That shadow can't, the darkness can't overshadow it. So the same thing with your prayer. The same thing with your positive affirmation. The same thing when you pray for the others also. So, say good day, everybody.